First of all, the error is coming in authorization error. So lambda is not able to run the SMS, right? So what could be the problem? Anyone with this issue, right? It's not authorized to perform SMS, right? So what could be the problem? Could be related to what? We already seen, right? Like when the S3 is the issue, and when we seen that uh, any other service, if you're not able to EC2, we are not able to access. So what we do?
Yeah, give it to permissions. S3.
No, but here we don't need S3, but here, which where we give the permission? What is the service name?
Yeah, IM.
So IM service we have to go. So you remember, right? We created a one lambda role, right? So that lambda role should have the permission of that service which you are going to access. Okay. So you have to go to role. This my AWS lambda role. So so here we added these services, but now if I want to add SMS, right? Because SMS full access. SMS full access.
Okay.
So once your permission is done, now it's not a problem. So it was not a code problem. We were thinking yesterday, like it's a code problem, right? It was not a code problem because it was not able to connect and it was not able to get assigned this like permission, right? It is not having access. Okay. So so it has given the status code 200. 200 code means it is successfully deliver the message. Okay. So where we have to check the message. So I have defined this SMS topic with email type of protocol. You remember right yesterday I was, so you can do SMS also, or we can do anything. There are many different protocols are there. So we go to the SMS where we can check it what we have specified in our ARN topic. So when we go to the topic, so topic is your topic is created. So topic is assigned some. Okay, so enter the subscription confirmation. Yeah. So if I check this subscription confirmation tool, confirm the subscription. Subscription is confirmed. Now, if I get this here, yeah. So once you get this, right, confirmed, right, your email is confirmed because you have to authenticate, right? You are otherwise you can give anybody's email ID, right? So how can you give? So you have to authenticate from the endpoint, right? You have to request confirmation. You have to do. So once you do the request confirmation, and then you will get a one notification to your email, and then it will ask you to confirm. Okay, now let's do now. Now I got the message. So you can see here is the SMS notification. This is the message I written. Here is the SMS notification. This is same message in my lambda. Here is the SMS notification. This is the same one. This is the same message. So I have given this message. This is the message. So this message is coming in the email, right? So email notification is active. Okay. So this way through lambda, you can trigger your SNS. So sometimes like you are reading some files and writing the file to the target, and then you want to send some notification. Okay. Or some event you are getting, you are saying message. The event is some event is processed successfully. So any type of you can send the notification. Just you have to create a client. Okay, go to 3 client, you pass an SNS and get the client object, and publish method you have to call. And this publish method is taking your this input, right? Like target AR and message, whatever message you are sending, and message structure you are saying JSON format. So you are giving a JSON type. So this way you can test your SMS notifications. Okay? So this is the trigger for SMS. So there are many other triggers also there in the Lambda, like kinesis stream. Suppose you are getting some message through the like streaming data message. So that would be getting through the kinesis. So here there is a API gateway. So API gateway is a REST API URL. You can hit that URL and get the hit from the API gateway. So how to configure the API gateway? Let's see API gateway. So API gateway is a REST API endpoint. So you will create some REST API endpoint, and that REST API endpoint you will configure as a API gateway. So there are the two ways. One is you can add a trigger in Lambda. Okay, as a create a new API or existing API, you can add, and you can add a type of just you can add a REST API type. Okay, REST API you can add this one. So this is the one way you can add a trigger here. And when you go to the your API gateway, if you go now API gateway is you can create your own APIs. Okay, and these APIs will be fitting to your Lambda and provide the input. So sometimes you want to get the data from the, so you can see here, this my EC2 Lambda API is created. Okay, so it automatically created one API here, right? I configured over there and I got the API here, right? But this API is we are not telling about exactly what is the type of request, right? It is showing any. Okay, so if I want to create my API first here, that is the right way. So you create an API here and ask here like which type of API. So it is giving these many options. So we have to select REST API. So click on the build option and new API. give the my API name is hello. So I say some URL. You are giving us some URL. Okay.
Yeah, I read one question, sorry for interrupt.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Suppose yeah, we connect to the S3 bucket. So suppose we put it into files is sometime, yeah, files is coming 1 hour or 2 hours, we don't know. How to put it is files is came in S3 bucket and trigger. We'll put it lambda, correct?
So your file is coming in S3 and you want to trigger lambda.
Yes, correct.
So there is a
No,
manual.
suppose not manual. Suppose yeah, we write to one Python script just to external space to we bringing to yeah, bringing we using is Python code just to bringing to just to dump to the S3 bucket. After that, the file is going to in AWS Glue. Just to how to
AWS.
set up in Lambda.
So
Yeah,
AWS,
AWS.
you want to
Yeah,
read the file from S3 and trigger AWS group from lambda. That you are saying, or
yes, correct. Yeah. Suppose is files is coming, that time is a trigger. How to set up that one Lambda?
so lambda first is there is a custom event. Okay. So
Uh,
S3 is having a custom event, right? Trigger. So whenever the
uh,
file arrives, you can trigger one lambda. Even that setup you can do in the S3 also. Okay, there is a custom
oh,
event option is there. Okay.
uh,
So whenever file is arrived, automatically your trigger will be lambda will be trigger. Okay, and you can read the file. Okay. Or you are
oh,
saying start the glue. So you have to manually you have to trigger the glue. You can lambda can also trigger the glue. Okay. There is an option.
okay.
I think glue is like you have to trigger a job, right? You have to as a Boto 3 resource you can do, not like a automatic trigger.
Not glue, just to yeah, we load
S3 to
the
read file.
uh,
So here if you
uh,
see S3 and there is a
uh,
bucket, tell the bucket, right? Which bucket your files are arriving, and here is a prefix. So this prefix is
uh,
which folder and what is the extension of the file. Suppose you say there are multiple files are coming, but only text file you want to take. The .txt you will take.
okay.
So
You
when
don't put it as a star print. So suffix is a print. Oh, multiple files means is just to dot to see txt is enough or star
no,
something.
if you don't give this, it will take it all file. Whenever whatever file
Uh,
is
no, I'm asking is no text files is multiple files is coming correct.
yeah, that is
Uh,
fine. This is just a
okay.
type of file. You are saying extension.
Uh,
So if suppose there
okay.
is CSV file, JSON file, text file, so only text it will pick up.
Yeah. I that is I understand. Arvind. No, don't we no need star. No need star dot txt or not
Dot
required
.txt
star.
fine, .txt fine. Because it is a
Oh,
suffix you are giving. Only files
uh,
suffix, right? So
okay.
or even if you keep it star, it's not a problem. Okay. Because it
Uh-huh.
is just taking after this extension, right? Dot extension,
Uh,
right? Because
okay.
we are saying which type of file. This is a pattern, right? We are telling. Okay. Even if
Oh,
you don't give a star, not a problem. Means anyway, it is all file only. Again,
okay.
okay. Star.txt, whatever is file, but txt type.
Okay.
Okay. And here is a suppose in this bucket you have a some folder. You say like some directory and you say the
Uh,
file is there. Okay. Or if you
okay.
don't have the, this is also optional, right? If you have directly the file, so you can
Uh,
trigger Now you have, because same like this okay, I think this bucket. Okay, this is okay, I will show that one. Okay, first
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry for
the
problem.
API gateway. So API gateway is like a REST API endpoint, right? So this API gateway, this is the API gateway workshop. So when we are creating our own API, okay, so this is a service, right? API gateway. API gateway is providing a different types of APIs you can build up, right? HTTP API, REST API, WebSocket. Okay. So here we are going to create a REST API. And suppose I want to create some API. So I just take the name of the API. Okay. And this API will be triggering for computation part will not be here, right? Computation part will be there in the lambda. So when somebody is triggering some HTTP URL of the REST API, so actual computation will happen in lambda only. But REST API is this API gateway is the interface to accept the request and redirect the request to the lambda. So first they are saying create a REST API, select a new API and give the API name. And if you want to give description, you can give and select as a new API. Okay. So when we go to last time we given a slash, we don't need to give slash, it will take it automatically. Okay. First API. Yes. Done. Create resource. Now we have to go to the resource and the resource path and then some resource name we have to specify. Okay. So here is this is nothing changed. Just we have to give this. So in my API, what is my resource name? Is this resource name? My API name is whatever calculator I define. But after that, what will be the URL? Slash price meter, price per meter, right? So generally API URL you have seen like the main, like first is a high level entity, then the sub entity like that it comes, right? So I'm creating a resource. This is a resource. So in my API calculator, having a resource name is, there may be multiple resource. My API name is whatever API name I given. My API name is, I given API name is calculator. Okay. This is the API name, calculator price. Up now, there could be many different calculate prices there, right? So I'm just taking a one resource is this one, price per meter. This is the one resource. Okay. So this is the one resource. Okay. And next is, once this is done, then we have to define the method detail. So there is a option method, right? So we have to define the method. So we click on this. Method, click the create method on the method. Okay, this option was here. So what type of method you want to use? Okay. So here the different methods are there, like post method. I want to select post method, and I am giving the integration type a lambda function. What is the reason of my, and what is the function is attached with this one? Which function you want to attach with your API? So we have to attach the API. So I will select first my post method. Okay. And lambda function integration. My region is already coming. And here is I will select my lambda. So suppose I selected this lambda, okay, and I will create a method. Okay, there are other types of integration types are there. So I have defined the post method for my API price per meter. Okay, so I have created this post lambda function, and I have selected my lambda function, and I create method. So I create it. So now I have to test this one. You have now configured your calculate cost lambda function. Okay. So we have to test something for my API, right? To copy paste the JSON and test is there. So there is the test option. This is internally you are testing here itself. Okay. Just your API is taking the input. Now your successfully completed execution, your method status code 200. So this is just testing locally here. Your API is defined properly. Okay. Now this API will be okay. So there we have to find, okay, this is we are getting, and we have to trigger lambda to deploy things here. Calculate price API deployment. Deploy API. State something like I say dev state. Within that deploy. So have I given some deployment description you can get, and deploy, expand the dev space, click on the post method. Okay, and test the API to invoke the URL. So you have to take this URL and hit from the, or you can use the curl URL, curl command to hit. Okay, so this will hit the our lambda. Okay, but lambda is accepting or not, like, because we have to, whatever the request data we are taking it, we can take it in the lambda. Okay, so first we find the invoke URL. What is the invoke URL? So this invoke URL is prepared. Okay. Better to make it a get type. So get type request, you can get Constantly happy. We here in the road. In the road. Lambda. So here this API came. So our API, the calculate price. This API came. So we created from the API gateway this one, and this is an endpoint for the post request. Post request. Okay, we find this one, method request. So the flow, the is, I don't know, number of minutes. Number of people. See, so what the Yes, so, see the error there in log. Here is no hit from from this is the road they are the jack playing. Okay, next slide questions about application goal. Okay, let me check this one. Okay, and actually one I will show tomorrow at event one. The customer display. One example is event notification to the S3. Another one example is the API gateway integration with lambda
Okay.
stream. Right. Suppose you want to get the data to in a system. So how can you try this API gateway on this example? Check this slide. Those workshop studio. This configuration in this PC. And you guys can try this workshop. Yeah, let's connect tomorrow.